Today's episode, you guys, is brought to you by Perfect Storm Real Estate Specific Software. It's the website I use in my business. I'm actually a partial owner within the company that's been able to give my input to help create a piece of software that is uber effective at lead generation in our real estate businesses. That website, www.perfectstormnow.com. Go check that out. It's amazing, epic front-end lead generation site that's extremely affordable for real estate agents out there. Also, today's episode is brought to you by our 90-day mastery bootcamp. If you're in the real estate industry, if you're wanting to take your business to the next level, this is a gnarly, crazy experience. We go through for 90 days straight. There's there is 13 total sessions that we go through. Each weekly session is about 2 to 3 hours long every single week. Plus, you have daily access to me going through the experience through the group. So to check out more about that program, we roll those out about every 90 days. We stagger them once in a while, but we do about 3 or 4 of those every single year. So if you want to spend the next 90 days with me, about 40 hours of just crazy epic content helping your business take it to the next level, go to www.90daymastery.com. That's our sales page. You can see testimonials, learn more about the product, and register and sign up right there. If you are signing up, make sure to use the promo code LiveMastery, all caps, all together, all one word, LiveMastery. It saves you $500. It makes that whole entire 90-day coaching experience only $997 for you guys. So, all right, let's jump on in. What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another weekly episode of Leveling Up, where every single week I come at you guys with just some tips, suggestions, things that I'm doing in my life, things that I practice in my life to continue leveling up, right? To go out there and continue creating success, to continue ensuring that we're not getting comfortable. Good is the worst enemy to greatness, right? So it's so easy to get to the point where things are good enough. Oh, well, I could have this better in my life, but, things are pretty good. It's good enough, right? Like, it's such an easy trap to get stuck in. So every single week we talk about different tactics to be able to level up, good, bad, ugly, whatever it may be, right? So this week I want to talk to you guys about a few different things, and they really kind of all tie in together. And this was really sparked from a post I put on social media yesterday. I got this hat that says work is in my blood, right, or whatever. And I put a post up there that everybody today is always talking about hustle. Like everybody's always oh man, I'm out there hustling, whatever it may be, but very few people truly hustle, truly grind, truly understand what hustling is. Hustling is not going to your job for that, let's maybe working 8 or 10 hour days and working hard there. That's not hustle. That's your job. That's the ante. That's the give, and that's what you should be doing. The hustle comes in, when nobody else is watching you, when everybody else is out there maybe partying or whatever it may be, partaking in entertainment. That's when hustle comes in, right? When you're sacrificing all those other things to level up your game. All your friends, everybody else out there, your competition, maybe out there partying that night or who knows, whatever, the game or whatever. What are you doing, dude? You're getting your learn on, you're getting your hustle on, you're out working everybody. And every time I do those posts, it always sparks some comments, right? So I always get some people that say certain things, for example, I've gotten this a lot, and I hear this a lot, especially from older male entrepreneurs. They're like, "Well, Josh, slow down, dude. Make sure that you're spending time with your family, see your family. You don't want to get in a position like I'm in where I don't even know my kids now, whatever it may be, and I don't have that because I worked 80 hours a week." And it's an absolute and utter cop-out, right? I mean, it's a total bullshit statement in that, and I get why they're probably saying that it's a defense mechanism, dude. They don't want to admit that they don't have a relationship with their kids because they were a shitty father, not because they work too much, right? To be a great father, you need to work your ass off for your family. How good are you as a provider if you can't provide opportunities, if you can't provide food, if you can't provide great educations, if you can't do certain things for your family? What kind of a parent are you then, right? So it comes to that thing of and people that might take offense to that, right? Or I get it, but it's just it's probably more than likely that you have some type of internal guilt knowing that you're not doing everything you should be doing to level up the way that you should to create those opportunities for your family. But then I want to break it down, right? So a lot of not a lot of prejudice, all prejudices come from lack of knowing, right? Like we don't know, we don't understand, so then we come up with this prejudice, whether it's about time, whether it's about human beings or whatever. It's just because we're ignorant in that portion of our life, right? So with time, where I always start with people, because this is probably also the biggest reach out I get from my coaching clients is, dude, I'm struggling with time management, right? And first of all, time management doesn't exist. You can't manage time. There's only 24 hours a day, 160 hours a week. Like we can't manage it. It's all about choice management, right? That we have to really hone in on and focus on. But when people come to me like, dude, I don't have enough time, whatever it may be, the first place I always start, or when people are criticizing or have this assumption that because I work 80 hours a week that I can't go see my kids, I break it down this way for them. So there's 168 hours in a week, right? So I got 168 hours in a week. Let me subtract my work. Like, okay, I'm going to take out my 80 hours. Working for 80 hours a week for me is like a non-negotiable, right? I mean, there's some weeks that I work more than that, but to me, it's that's just how it's going to be, how I got to roll, right? Then let's say, okay, I want to work out 5 hours a week. So 5 days a week for an hour, so it's 5 hours a week, right? So then I got to sleep a little bit, okay, so then I'll take out 42 hours of sleep for, let's say, I'm averaging 6 hours of sleep a night, which is more than I average, but let's just put that in there. What's left over, right? When I do the math there, now I've got 41 hours left over. 41 hours, dude, that's a tremendous amount of time. I mean, who's spending 41 hours a week with their family? That's a tremendous amount of time. Now, I'm not saying that all that's with my family. I mean, of course, you've got to shower, you've got to drive, you've got to, work on your self-development, whatever, but maybe that stuff takes 20 hours a week, and you got another 20 hours to really devote with your family. We have enough time. This whole cop-out, again, it's just a 100% cop-out, and the limiting belief that, we can't put in the hours, we can't put in the hustle, we can't put in the time to go out there and create that successful business, because if we do that, we're going to sacrifice our relationships with our family, our health, or whatever it may be. And again, it's utter bullshit, dude. It's just this it's an excuse and a reason that you've justified in your brain, so then that you don't have to go out there and get your hustle on, right? But you can do it all. You can have it all. So there is no balance in life. So many people are searching for balance, striving for balance. It's like, look, dude, if I'm looking for balance in my life, if that becomes a focus of mine, number one, now I've added an additional plate to my life. Like now I have a different plate I got to carry. It's like another thing I have to focus on and pay attention to. So I'm actually, eating up more time being focused on balance. But then also just understand, like, dude, it just doesn't exist. I don't believe in this whole like work-life balance thing. It's all life, so let's just integrate it all, right? So what I do in my world is I just compartmentalize, right? So, and I learned this from Ryan Blair. He's the author of Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain. He had an article, it's an awesome article. I wish they would have saved it so I could post it for you guys. But it was in Forbes magazine a couple years ago. And they're like, dude, like, what do you do? Because he operates this $1 billion company and this uber successful cat. But he's got kids and a kid and all this other stuff. And they're like, well, what do you do, to balance it? He's like, well, first off, there's no balance, right? He goes, but then I have these different compartments. He goes, so then, okay, I got my work compartment. I've got my health compartment. I've got my kid compartment. And whatever it may be, those things that matter to you in your life. And he goes, then what I do, and they're not all equal. Like balance would be like, okay, I sleep 8 hours, I work 8 hours, and I have 8 hours for fun and entertainment. Like that just doesn't exist out there, right? So, and you might be out of balance, meaning like, okay, I might have to go work 12 hours and only see my kids for 2 hours, but I'm going to see my kids every day for 2 hours, and I'll go work my 12, whatever it may be there. But breaking these down into compartments, right? So understanding what's important to you, what must be accomplished for you to create the results that you want to create, and then you set those up. So, okay, I've got my work compartment, and treat this like when I walk into my work compartment, it's like a door, like it's this closed room. You walk into that door, when the time that you've committed to being there, and then you walk out of that door at the time you committed to being done. And you leave it, dude, you just leave it all in there. You go as hard as you possibly can. You're uber focused there, right? You get your shit done there. Then boom, that's over. It's at 6 o'clock at night. And then, okay, now it's your kid compartment. And again, maybe it's only 2 hours. and you spend with your kids, but then that 2 hours, you walk into that room, into that door, into that compartment, and then you're fully engaged, you're fully focused there, right? You're involved there. Then once that's done, maybe your kids go to bed, then maybe you're working out or whatever it may be. Compartmentalize, right? Don't be focused on this balance or whatever. You can, but just understand that if you're striving for balance, you're going to live a life of mediocrity. It's just how it goes. It's the surest way to mediocrity, right? Balance equals mediocrity. You need to get out there and get that hustle on, get that time investment in. But again, you don't have to sacrifice the things that truly matter to you in this world if you're paying attention to this stuff correctly. And paying attention to it daily. That's why, like, every day, dude, I have all my goals written down of what I want. I'm looking at my journal. So when I'm planning my perfect day every single day, like, I know what must happen to accomplish what I want to accomplish and get the results that I want to get. Then the other thing I want to talk to you guys, so that's giving you an idea of time and the work effort that you got to put in. We just had a question on the show, on our GSD Knowledge Rounds actually today, about this of, hey Josh, how many hours did you have to put in, to really start growing your businesses? And and the question when it came in, and I guess really how I answered is like, dude, it's like impossible. It's impossible for me to put how many hours were to that, right? It's like literally, okay, from like when my eyes open to my eyes close, you're involved, but it was, 100 hours, whatever it was. I look at it is like my wife will ask me a lot too, like, what time are you coming home, or how long are you going to be doing this or focusing on this project? I'm like, baby, how long do you give a baby to crawl, right? Like, you don't give it a time frame. You're going to give it till it crawls. Like, I'll be done when I'm done. Like, once I've completed what I want to complete or need to complete, then it'll be done, right? So with that being said, though, dude, like, and the reason I want to bring this up is, so many people underestimate the true amount of hustle, the true amount of effort it takes. Everything I've ever done in my life, dude, none of it's ever been easy. And it may just because I'm not the smartest cat out there, right? Like, I get that. I understand that. I don't pretend or try to be. So every dollar I've ever made, man, I've had to work my ass off for it. Every single dollar, dude. In every business I've started, I've been involved in, anything, has been at least probably 5 times the amount of work, effort, energy, money, whatever, length of time that it took than I anticipated, right? So you've got to be willing, dude, to give it your all, to get in there, put that true hustle and put that true time in there. Because here's the reality of it, especially now more so than ever. I mean, there's just more people that exist out there. The job markets and population is growing so exponentially that it's just going to continue to get worse, right? So you got more and more people competing for the same jobs, and there are crazy sons of bitches out there like me that really don't care about eating and sleeping and doing much else than going out there and creating what they want to create. So this now becomes your competition. This is what you're up against. You just got to understand that. Like always ask yourself, hey, what is my competition doing? Because if you get comfortable, if you get complacent, if you get start taking your foot off the accelerator, dude, they're gonna take what was yours and it's going to become theirs. It's just how it's going to happen, right? Like you got to keep this running. You got to keep running, man. It doesn't stop. Like there's no end point. When you hit this, I don't know if you're doing this race, right? When you get to supposedly the finish line, now you just start another race, dude. There is no finish line in life. I guess the finish line is when you peace out of this world. So you should always be hustling, always go out there, create what you want. And especially in the business world, if you want to be successful, it's more competitive than ever today. You've got people out there just willing to do whatever it frickin' takes on a level that we've never seen before. So this is what you're up against. So you've got to be to that point. When people will come to me a lot and they'll say, hey Josh, well here's the goals I want to hit. Here's what I want to create success. I want to become a millionaire, whatever it may be. I want to create a 7-figure a year business. The first question I ask them, or the first thing that I really try to identify with them, is what are you willing to sacrifice to make that a reality? Like, it ain't going to happen if you're not willing to sacrifice. Like, you got to go out there and sacrifice almost everything. Now, I'm not saying you have to sacrifice the things that are important to you. Like, in my world, dude, I'm not sacrificing my relationship with my kids. I'm not sacrificing my relationship with my wife. I'm not going to sacrifice my health, to grow my businesses. But I can have all those things. I have to sacrifice everything else, though. Like, so Ben Care, if you haven't watched that interview, go back and watch that interview that we did with Ben Care. Maybe we can post it below here in the show notes. or in the notes below, but this is he's training right now for the 2016 U.S. Olympics. He's a wrestler, right? And he was in the 2012 Olympics, and this guy's just a stud, right? And it was like, dude, look, he said on there, to be world class, to be the best, to be world class, you got to be willing to commit suicide in every aspect of your life outside of like that focus. Like he's like, you got to be willing to commit social suicide, financial suicide. So he starts rolling off all these things that had to become irrelevant in his world, and just became obsessed with accomplishing his goal. So I'm going to get clarity on the things that do matter to me, the things that I do want, and then I'm going to commit suicide on all the other things, right? Like I'm going to, like, dude, I don't have a social life. Like I don't go hang out with friends, right? Like, I mean, it's maybe like last weekend we had dinner with some friends, for like an hour. Worked all morning. It was like a Saturday or maybe it was Sunday. I can't remember what day it was. But went there and met up with them for like an hour or two. And that's probably the first time that's happened in months and months and months, right? So, but I know what's important to me, what I want to create in my life. And I don't sacrifice those things. But everything else right now is, as I'm building this, like I'll have time to go out there and play. I'll have time to go out there and do all this stuff later in life, maybe. And for me right now, it's not even just that I have to do this. Like sometimes people are like, oh, dude, Josh, I feel sorry for you. I'm like, well, don't feel sorry for me. Dude, like I am doing every single day, all day long, the things that I love the most. I just truly feel that, if you're like a professional athlete, like you grew up your whole life wanting to play baseball, loving baseball, all of a sudden you've made it. Like you don't go up there and perceive that as a job. Yeah, it takes work, but you love what you're doing. And that's how I feel every single day. Those that I feel sorry for are the people that do need a vacation. It's like, go out there and build such an epic life that you don't need a break from it, that you don't need a vacation from it, right? If I need a break from my life, then that means I got a pretty shitty life. So get that, just dial in your guys' time, dial in that hustle. Again, balance won't exist if you're trying to level up in your world, in your business, in your life. But it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice those things that matter most to you. Just attack every single day with intention, figure out what the things that matter to you are, plan every single day, enter every single day with the game plan intentionally of what you can accomplish. Go out there, keep hustling, keep kicking ass, and keep dominating. So anyway, you guys, I can keep rambling on and on and on and on and on and on for hours, but I'm just going to end it there. If you guys have any, so real quick though, I want to hit on this. If you guys have any topics that maybe you're struggling with, that you want me to do, 30-minute or 45-minute, whatever, full leveling up episode on, shoot those to us, man. I'm more than happy to hit on any of those topics. If I've hit on something that you'd like me to elaborate more on, or if you're going through, a difficult time in your life and you really, you'd like to see a leveling episode kind of devoted to that topic, shoot that to me, Joshua, at gsdmode.com. And happy to help any way I possibly can, you guys. I appreciate you guys listening to the show, and anything I can do to serve support and help, I'm here for you. We're here for you at the show. And even if we got to put out a few of these a week compared to just one, more than happy to do it. So you guys keep dominating, take care, and we'll talk to you really soon. Peace out.